Hey everybody, welcome back for yet another Spotlight Series Top 5. This week is Hirogen Week, so I have got today Dan Van Kampen, aka Iron Prime, helping me out with his top 5 Hirogen cards. So thank you, Dan, for coming on.
Oh,
I very much appreciate your time.
yeah, thanks for having me. And for those of you who haven't been on the board, I'm going to put my little disclaimer that I'm not a pro. So,
Hey, the Top 5 series invites all levels of players to come and join us. So I appreciate your take on these cards.
so
So Dan, why don't you go ahead and give us your let's start out with any honorable mentions you may have. I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen.
yeah, so working backwards, I can try and do it too. But the honorable mentions are probably DeCaren was the one I was trying to remember on the boards. Lore or Chris Constantine helped me out with DeCaren as the alpha with the most references. So
okay.
the free play drive is really there. He's pretty straightforward, so I didn't initially put him on the list, but he does have numbers on his side.
Well, and he is also one of the most sought after promo cards with the oversized DeCaren, fetching an obscene amount of money.
Sick amounts, and I don't.
Sick amounts of money.
I didn't even know that existed until a few years back, and I've been trying to build a 1E set, so now it just makes me sad.
Yeah, I've said I'm not gonna try to collect the oversized DeCaren because it's just too much.
Yeah,
I've heard a very sad story once. I forget, it was somebody on the boards talking about he was at some con, it might have been Origins, and he just saw an entire trash can just full of them because somebody just tossed them in the garbage.
Yeah, because back in the day, like, oh my gosh, yeah, that'll make you sick.
All right. Well, like all the many other Hirogen, DeCaren is super skill dense, high attributes. You know,
Yep.
the main thing that's so tough about them is just there's not very many of them.
There's not many, and that's the call to the whole affiliation is skill dense, attribute heavy. There's not a lot of them. I kind of like it for them because it fits with the flavor. 1E being a flavorful game, if you listen to Voyager, they basically comment that their race is dying out because they're too busy doing other stuff. So for them, at least, it kind of works. Other affiliations less so, but that's another topic. But he's the prototype. He's got 6 skills, command, plenty of attributes. So, but yeah, for those of you who want to do it, he's the most referenced.
Yep.
Other honorable mention was Idrin. He's sort of fun, huge strength, downloads a talent, a couple less common skills, nothing too crazy. But in Minnesota, we have let's call it a very aggressive meta. You don't have to necessarily like to battle, but we don't focus on it. But we all battle by opportunity, and when you've got people like Chris Constantine and Kevin Yeager coming down, fortune favors they're prepared. So it's sort of nice that his integrity sucks, but with that strength and helping grab some other stuff, he's just sort of handy to have around. Plus, he's got a ship.
Yep. Yes.
Matching commander is always helpful.
And special downloads the Hirogen Talon.
Yep.
Which helps you out with your hunting.
Yep, that's useful for quite a few things. And if nothing else, again, if some Klingons or some Dominion are coming your way, that one more strength is sometimes all you need.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then let's get into your top 5.
Yeah, so I went through, I took a stab at it on the boards. In a way, it kind of makes itself, it being such a compact affiliation. But, number 1 is the Outpost. If you want to start at the top, I mean, you need to report somewhere, grabs the hunt, and the hunt fuels everything. So it's sort of a nice, I mean, if you're looking to do something, you can buy a box of the board, get enough, and go. And there's not hoops to jump through. You've got a good outpost, 34 shields instead of 32. You got 2 more. Every little bit helps. And it grabs the card, one of the cards that just makes the affiliation run. So.
And
Easy.
has a holodeck.
Yes. Yep. And it's even got some flexibility on where it can seed. So.
Yep.
And then that goes and grabs the hunt, which is next on the list. And this got errata for those of you who are playing playing along at home with the history game. Used to be any card draw. Now your normal card draw. Leave it 20 to have normal card draw be different than card draw and have it be important. But go grab that, place your card draw. You can download Rituals of Hunt, another Hirogen Hunt, or a ship. So, you can't get ship screwed. You can go grab your ship right away. And then that's this card keys off the Alpha Hirogen. So going back to our Decarin discussion, that's your free play, either play an Alpha or someone who names an Alpha. And then if you got extras floating around, you can play them on a ship and beam through the shields of a damaged ship. I haven't personally seen that a lot, but sometimes just the threat of it is fun, plus thematic for the hunting. But a lot on one card, but the outpost grabs it, and this will make any Hirogen deck run, whether you choose to supplement it with holograms or with the Equinox, which is sort of their tough spot right now. But there's your fuel for the fire.
Yeah, I still haven't picked out which. I've gotten several suggestions on good Hirogen decks to look at this week, and I'm still. By the way, this is about a week in advance of the actual article coming out for all you guys following along at home. That I still have. I'm looking at a couple of different variations on Hirogen decks. All Hirogens with with their holograms, or if supplement with Equinox. Still, so trying to decide where I want to go with that.
Yeah, and they have those couple
article.
holes, so they're always going to get pegged with someone, which it depends on how you approach the game. It's sort of a challenge to fill the holes. But if you want to go heavy into flavor, which is my weakness, I'd probably be a better player if I wasn't such a slave to theme. I really want to play Hirogen in my Hirogen deck, and then to have to shackle him with Equinox is very effective, but it's not flavorful. So
right. All right, then number 3.
Yep, Rituals of the Hunt. The next crucial card is skill sharing. You get your, I'm going to call it a mini Borg riff. It's not universal. It's not everywhere, but there's a lot of anthropology floating around with the Hirogen. And if you pick the right person, you get your law, you get diplomacy you think you're light on, whatever you're looking for, as long as you're tracking what your opponent's doing, you can fill just about any hole. And then, of course, the next part of it is stalk your prey. I love the flavor in the old cards. Your equipment and Hirogen personnel report about your Hirogen ships. So, just like Voyager, keep up with the rest of the Delta, just like the Borg, report right on your ship. So even though we have that outpost that I mentioned number 1 as a top 5 card because it got everything rolling, once it gets everything rolling, you don't need it anymore, theoretically.
Yep.
So, and then of course you can capture, but I'm hoping when the Delta sets come around, they can give that little oomph. The capturing is so cool, but it's difficult. It's a little bit like, wow, my mind just went with the infiltration. The infiltration is just not quite there yet. So,
well, it's a tough thing to design for it. It's it's easy. We just saw over in second edition that capturing is something that if you design it too powerfully, it really goes overboard. So finding that balance between boring and negative play experience is difficult.
Yeah, it's tough when everything hits the board and your opponent just takes it. So I thought the 22nd century Klingon stuff where it kind of milled it off the top of the deck was kind of nice because you're taking them, but there was a little bit of a limit built in, and you didn't waste a card play and shuttle them around, waste range, get everything lined up, and then your opponent swoops over and grabs them. At least they never even saw the light of day.
Right.
So for any design people watching, that's my vote.
All right, then I've got number 4
Yep.
here.
Karen, just kind of a straight up guy, with good cunning, good strength again, lacking on the integrity, but good skills. Special download again, very handy special download again if you've got a bunch of Borg or Jem'Hadar or angry Klingons coming at you. That disruptor rifle is a pretty heavy hitter, and another matching commander, so you're not left out in the dark with your ships. Yep, strength plus
Oh,
4 and
and
cunning
cunning
plus 2.
+2. No diplomacy.
No
I
diplomacy, but they don't do a lot with diplomacy anyway. I think strength plus 4 might be the biggest rifle, at least as far as I can remember at the moment. I'm sure I'll be corrected later, but and cunning plus 2. Again, a little bit of the power creep at the end of the Decipher era, but that's a big gun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
plus, if I believe Charon is the lovable Tony Todd who does many Star Trek appearances. So you get cool factor points for that, and an achievement if you're playing for achievements. You get the good casting, I believe.
No, there's no good casting for Tony Todd yet.
Isn't there? If
No.
there's
All right,
not
now I'm pull. Now,
Rogue
if there's not, there should be because
Rogue
you
fix
can
that.
do. You do old Jake. You got Kern. You've got.
Yep,
Hmm.
he's got a
Well,
few
now, of course,
things.
now my achievements are taking their good sweet time. My
Well,
my browser's flaking out on me.
I trust
I don't even know where to find that, but I don't think we have a good casting Tony Todd yet.
I,
I've been lobbying for good casting Susie Plaxton and good
yes,
casting Susanna Thompson.
those need them too.
Also, because there's no chicas in
No,
the good
no,
castings.
we should get someone figure out Rogue's home address, and we're just going to spam him, and this will work itself out. 2 weeks tops. All in Shawshank. You just got to write a letter every week.
No. The problem's not Rogue. I'm betting it's there. The problem's the database right now. It's too big for its britches.
That's true. So
Yeah. Yep. Or
I'm
something similar.
I'm
There's
still
there's been
throwing Rogue under the
problems with
bus.
people. I don't
Mhm.
know. That's above my pay grade. All
Yes.
right. So let's see. I think the last one we had then is car. Number 5 is
Yep.
car.
Yeah. So yeah, Karan and Alpha, Car and Alpha. Um, again, this is one where he's just got really good stats. Someone that actually has a little bit of integrity for once. Not a huge number, but more than than 3 from Idrin. Things like that. Plenty of skills. Honor not common for the Hirogen. Law not common at all. Leadership ×2. He's got that anthropology, to fuel the skill stealing. I'm not gonna call it skill sharing. Skill stealing from the prey. Cunning 8's pretty respectable. Strength of 9's good again. So sort of just in there as another, they're all around, good example of the race with the. But I just like that he actually has integrity and has that honor. Law is just, you don't see as much of it floating around, especially honor for the Hirogen. So
Yep. Very tough. All right. Well, let's go ahead and stop sharing now. All right. So any final thoughts, Dan, before I let you go?
thanks for letting me come on. Like I said before we started, long time listener, first time caller. So always trying to contribute to the community, but it's always tough to find regular intervals of time. So little things like this are fun to help out with, and I'm looking forward to whatever designs got cooking up. They've teased us that they've got some Delta stuff around the corner, so hopefully this list will get updated in the future. Maybe we can have a redux. We can revisit this and see how the new cards compare and if it changes the list.
Yeah, definitely. And shameless plug, Minnesota Masters is coming up at the end of September.
Yep.
So
I don't remember
um,
the date. I should try and see if I can
I
find
want to
that.
say
But
it's the last weekend, but I can't remember off the
yep,
top of my head. So
yep.
Minnesota Masters, after Aussie Continentals, but
Hmm.
before Worlds, I think is the next if I recall correctly, it's the next big U.S. tournament. So start planning.
Yep, they squeezed it in there. There's a really cool, aggressive tough meta up here. So if you want to get a challenge, or if you're like me and you just like to play even if you lose a lot, come up, and there's couches to surf. And so if anyone wants to come up but is worried about where to stay, what to do, one way or another, we'll get you covered.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Dan. I really appreciate your time. And all you viewers out there, thanks again for watching Spotlight Series. Next week is Spotlight Series Top 5 Starfleet.